Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I've been asked by a few people to do a YouTube live video, and I'm still working on trying to be able to put that together, but I'm not there yet. So yesterday I asked on Instagram and also in the Facebook group, what were your questions? What do you want to know about me? I got several responses from you guys, and I actually got quite a few duplicate questions. So I put all of the questions in here, and I'm going to try to get an answer to as many as I can. I got a lot of questions around inspiration. A lot of people say, where do you find your inspiration from? And mainly I get inspiration from just things around me, things that I see. Like, I love to look at like the Pottery Barn catalog. I like to go on Pinterest, and I don't necessarily type in, Dollar Tree decor, but I will just look at other decor. I also follow a lot of people on Instagram that have just adorable farmhouse decor, and a lot of times I'll look at it and think, okay, how can I do that inexpensively? So that's mainly, and I think just doing this on the regular, I get a lot more inspiration than I did before I had a YouTube channel. Several people asked me, do you keep all the DIYs that you do? And the answer is no, I can't. There's like literally no way. You guys, I do 3 to 4 videos a week. And if I'm doing a DIY that has 3 DIYs in that video, there's just no possible way I can keep them all. So I would say I probably keep about 50% in my home. And another thing I do is like I rotate my decor so often because I'm doing so many DIYs that maybe it'll be up for 2 weeks and then I take it down. But with like things like, say I make something with a bunch of picture frames, I'll just pull the picture frames apart and then I'll reuse those. That way for my next project, I don't have to go out and buy new picture frames. So with a lot of the Dollar Tree stuff, I try to reuse it. I gift it to family and friends. I just had a garage sale and I got rid of a bunch of old home decor that I wasn't using anymore. So no, there's no way that I can keep it all. But I will say most of the items end up in my home for about 2 weeks. I'm a little nervous about the fall because I saved all my fall stuff from last year, and I know that I'm going to want to create all new projects. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. I had several people curious about what I do for work, what I did before I started YouTube. So I used to teach kindergarten for 7 years before I got pregnant with my daughter, Annabelle. And once I had Annabelle, I wanted to stay at home, but that didn't really work out because I love to work, and so I tried to create jobs where I could work from home, but I also was able to be at home with her and do all the activities. So I started an Etsy shop and I sold headbands, and then I went to wedding garters, and I was really successful doing that, but it also took a lot of my time. I mean, I was spending 3 to 4 hours each day shipping. And at that same time, I also started a photography business, and I did photography for probably 3 years, and it was great because I got to get some great pictures of my kids and took a lot of pictures for my friends. So it was a lot of fun. So from there, my Etsy shop turned into an Amazon store, which I still have today. And on Amazon, I have a line of little girl birthday dresses, usually like first and second birthday are the main dresses I do. I'll link below if you guys are interested in looking at my shop. But that is what I do mainly today. And the freedom that Amazon gives me is I don't have to spend daily doing my shipping, and Amazon takes care of the fulfillment, and I love it so much more. So I have that going on right now. I also, before I started my DIY channel, I had a hair channel on YouTube that I started it was like the beginning of 2017. And I just did hairstyles on my little girls, and that was a lot of fun. So I did that for about a year before I started the DIY channel. So that kind of gave me a little bit of exposure. I understood YouTube YouTube a little bit better before I started my DIY channel. But as of today, what I'm doing is I still have my Amazon store, and then this YouTube channel is now basically like my full-time job. Someone asked me what my favorite piece that I've refinished has been, and that was really hard. Like, I had a really hard time figuring out that because I have so many things I love. So I would say there's lots of signs that I really like, but I didn't include those because I think if I had to say my favorite sign, it would probably be the sign I made for Christmas, and I'll try to link a picture of that for you guys. But my favorite DIY is that blue clock that I painted because it's just so simple, but changing it from that black to blue just made all the difference in the world. And it's sitting right now in my master bedroom, and I just love the look of it. So I know that's super simple, but it's a project that really brings me joy. And that's how I decide if I love something, does it bring me joy, and am I happy seeing it in my space? Another question I got was, how do I budget for home decor and craft supplies? And that is a really great question. Now, I will say I probably allocate more money now that I do a YouTube channel. Because I definitely am making more DIYs than I did before YouTube. But the way I like to do it is I kind of break up my projects. So for instance, last month I was spending money redoing my daughter Caroline's room. So while I'm doing that, I'm not spending money in other areas of my house. And before that, I was spending money doing my half bath downstairs and allocating money for that. And I just try to think of ways to make it as budget friendly as possible. So instead of me going out and spending, $100 on a nightstand at Home Goods, I come up with a way that I can get it at a thrift store for $10 and paint it myself. So I just try to really hone it in and make sure I'm spending money on the things that matter to me, and things that I can do myself, I just redo them, and I think sometimes they end up better than if I would have spent money to buy something expensive. So I would just say slow down and just allocate, one project at a time, maybe one project a month. And also you just gotta watch yourself at Dollar Tree, because I find that the more Dollar Tree trips that I take, the more money I spend. So honestly, I don't let myself go more than once a week because I'll just spend way too much money there. Someone also wanted to know if my husband helps me film my videos, and the answer to that is yes. So my husband is very handy. He can put things together. So I always have him put together like my IKEA stuff. I mean, he puts it together. He also will hang things on the walls for me. So he definitely helps with that aspect. But as far as like filming, editing, all of that, he doesn't help me do any of those things. So that's all me. All of the technical stuff I take care of. But if I need him for something, he's always willing to help me. Okay, somebody wanted to know how many different Dollar Trees do I go to. So I would say when I first started going to Dollar Tree, it was more than I go to now. I've pretty much found in my city, I would say two and a half, there's one that's okay, Dollar Trees that I really like going to. One is my absolute favorite. So if I'm only going to one in a week, I will go to that one. Where I get into trouble is when I'm looking for something specific, like let's say the cutting boards. If I saw the cutting boards and I want to get them, I may go to like 2 or 3. But if I'm just wanting to do DIYs, I will go to this one that's really big, usually has a great selection, and I will look around there and usually can find most of the things that I'm looking for. So the next question I got was about wax, and I know a lot of you guys have questions about wax. So the question was, when do you use wax over your chalk paint? So this is my basic rule. I use wax on main pieces of furniture, things that are going to be sat on, people are going to touch, they're just going to get a lot of wear and tear, because what the wax does is it hardens on the piece and it acts as a sealer for your furniture. So if I'm doing a dresser, if I'm doing stools, if I'm doing a table, I'm always going to put a wax finish or some kind of sealer on it. But if I'm putting it on a terracotta pot, I'm not going to seal that with wax. I don't think it's necessary. Maybe if I was selling it, I may want to do that, but for me, it's not necessary. So that's just kind of my rule of thumb. I'm sure some of you may have different opinions, but that's kind of where I stand. I had someone ask me if I ever have a day where I can't come up with a project to do. And as of right now, for me, the answer is no. One is I actually plan my videos out several weeks ahead of time. So I already know videos I'm doing like 3 weeks from now. And the reason I do that is because when I get an idea, I write it down and I make a video, just like put it in my planner. This is what I'm going to be filming next. That way, when it comes time to like, okay, what are my ideas? What am I shooting? I already know because when I had that inspiration, I wrote it down. The other thing I do is I will go into Dollar Tree with no plan and I will just find an item and I will come up with an idea for a project. I just love to find something and then it usually just comes to me and I will have an idea for a video. I had a lot of questions about my job, and YouTube really is a full-time job for me. It makes a great job for me. I also watch my girls full-time, so like right now they're off school in the summer, so I'm pretty much going and doing with them throughout the day, and then I will work at night. But I love that I have the ability just to work whenever I have the time. And I did have some people ask me who were wanting to get started on YouTube, if it was intimidating at first or if I was nervous about it. And I think yes, I think everyone has a degree of just being hesitant about being on YouTube. And somebody asked me if I thought my channel was going to be successful. No, I didn't. I had no idea that this many people would want to watch my DIYs. So I think if you're on the fence about it, I say just go for it. Don't worry if you don't have the right equipment or the right things to get started, because we all start somewhere. And if you go back and look at my very first video to my videos now, there's a huge difference. So I've learned along the way and I'm continuing to learn, and I hope that my videos will continue to improve. So I encourage you to try it if you want to, because I started this channel back in April, end of April 25th of 2018, and it's now the summer of 2019, and my channel has just grown like crazy. So I definitely encourage you, if it's something that you're passionate about, definitely do. Another person asked me what my advice would be for growing your channel, and I think there's a lot of things that I would let you guys know. And if you want a more detailed video, just let me know if you're interested in that. I can do another video. Just let me know in the comments below. But my advice for growing your channel would just be to be consistent. I post 3 videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And sometimes I'll do a 4th video on like a Thursday or a Sunday, just kind of depending on if I had like a haul or something that was extra. But you guys know to count on my videos for those 3 days. And I think if I was gone for a week, you'd be like, where is she at? So I think being consistent is really important. Also, YouTube really likes, consistent videos. And I think that they do promote them more than, if somebody posts like a video 1 week and then 2 weeks later they post a video. So I definitely think consistency would be my #1 recommendation to you. And then I think it's just find something you love to do and shoot videos about it, because when you love to do something, I think it comes through on camera and people will love watching it. Okay, someone also asked me if I have any employees or anybody who works for me. And And I do have a few people who help me out. My mom helps me out with my Amazon business, just getting my dresses ready so that they're ready to be shipped to Amazon. So she helps me with that aspect. And just recently I hired an editor. So I have an editor who edits the majority of my videos. Most of my videos that are like my DIYs, I have an editor who's amazing, who edits my videos. Videos like this or a haul video, I will just go ahead and edit. But I've really found that that has freed me up so much to focus on, you know, different products that I want to incorporate into this channel. It frees me up to just do more videos, be more creative, and the editing was really time consuming. So I was really glad that I took the plunge to hire an editor. All right, someone wants to know if my husband is on board with my decorating style. And I think the answer to that is yes and no. So my husband doesn't interject in the decorating at all in our house. I mean, I have free reign. I mean, he doesn't say, oh, I think this looks good, I think that looks good. I think he honestly would be happiest if he just had like a couch and a TV. Like, he doesn't want anything on the walls, he doesn't want any decorating, but he does it because he knows it makes me happy, and you know, he wants to make me happy. But decorating wise, he really doesn't care what I have in this house. So I guess I'm lucky in that aspect of I do have free reign over my house, and he really doesn't interject. Okay, you guys, if you have any additional questions for me, leave them in the comments and I will try to either answer them on Instagram or Facebook, or maybe put them in a future Q&A video. I hope you guys like this new video, and I will see you guys in our next DIY. If you missed our last one, I'll link it here so you can click on it and go watch it, and I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye.